Oh.
And we're live. Right. Hello, everyone. We're here to talk about the Bride Test with my lovely co-host, Laura. Yeah, it's
There we go. Shadow.
Hey. Yeah. I'm sure you all remember Laura from my 12-hour live show. So this is your second YouTube debut.
Of fear, yeah.
It's all good. Nothing can go wrong. Right, we've got Crazy Mal, and we've got Kay, and Marlene, and Mel. Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Right. I don't know if anyone else is going to be joining us on screen today, so if I just go, that's because there's someone else for me to invite, because that's probably the noise I'll make. Hello. So in the chat, we'll start talking about it too. Let us know. Hello, Nikki. If you read the book, and well, obviously, if you haven't read the book, we're going to spoil the book completely. But let us know if you've read the book and what you rated it, and maybe a few words why. Hello. So many highs. Hi, everybody. But Laura, starting with you, what did you rate it?
I gave it four stars, which I think is lower than yours.
Yeah,
and I was definitely lower than Victoria's, because I think Victoria absolutely loved it. I kind of felt it. Loved the kiss quotient. That went from a 3 to a 5 star for me on the reread. Yeah. This has stayed at a steady 4.
Steady 4.
I just felt it was kind of missing something, but I don't know what. I kind of wanted a little bit more, and I didn't kind of get it.
Yeah, because I settled on, I don't know why I feel like I need to hold it when I talk about it, even though it's the only book we're talking about. So I settled on 4.5 in the end. But that is mainly because, so I read it the first time and I read it in a day. I didn't move. I barely breathed and gave it 5 stars. And I was like, it's better than the kiss quotient. It's amazing. I love it. Then I read it this time and was like, I think I must have been in a weird mood when I first read it. Something was missing. But also, I've still got the Post-it notes. I read it in November of 2020. So I hadn't seen Cole. And this is obviously her getting the 90-day fiance visa. So I think that might have swayed me a little bit when I first read it. So I could probably bring it down to a 4. I don't know why I'm being precious about that half star. But it just felt like I had to.
Maybe it's that because you're holding on to the memory of the first read, and yeah.
Because like I remember this time when I was reading the kiss quotient, I was like, this is the best romance I've ever read. I love it so much. So for it to be that much of a drop, it probably does need to be a 4, not a 4.5. But I will reflect on that after we've this conversation, because we've had lots of people coming in. Adrienne, hello. Have not read it, but spoil away. You sound like Crazy Mel right now, Adrienne. Yeah, spoil everything. I've read this and I hated it so much.
Ooh. Oh, why? You need to tell us why. I love knowing why people dislike books.
An entire Okay, hang on. I understand. I'm going to find this and I'm going to share it, because I don't think people who aren't mods can share links. But if I can find, where are you? You are? Where is it? I can't find it. I'm on your videos. Where is it? Nope. I literally cannot find it. Have you posted it yet? Are you posting it soon? Because I am looking at your YouTube and I can't see it. So please let me know, because I want to watch that. Yeah, I really need to know. It was a 4 star from me. I liked it better than book 1, mainly because I liked the plot / smut. Okay, I will take that one, because I read like for the smut most of the time. And this one did have more plot than smut. Where book 1 was like, he's literally a male escort. It's going to be heavy.
Well, that's why it was good, though.
It was so good. It was so good. I feel like this live show is going to be us saying how much we liked the kiss quotient and how excited we are for the heart principle. It's all good. Finished the book this morning. Had to be done ready for the live show. 4.5 for me. Not as good as the kiss quotient. That's pretty much well, I mean, I did read it a couple of weeks ago now, but I thought I wasn't going to be ready. So it's pretty much the exact same as me. 4 stars for It was missing the smut. It had way less the first book. It really, really did. The bit that was done was really good. But then I think, is it because Kai was a virgin going into this book and Michael was a male escort? Like, that's two different sexual appetites going on there. Because you can't go from that to like full hard blown, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it reflected their characters more. I don't know. Because he really had no idea what to do. Poor guy.
You did kind of feel for him after that first time, though.
Yeah, he does.
She was kind of just like, oh, okay. And he goes off thinking everything's okay.
He's like, right, I've actually got a quote written down for that. I'll come back to people's comments because it might have been my favorite part of the book. When he goes to ask Kwon for advice, and because he doesn't understand why Esme's not talking to him. And I've written down, where is it? It's so Kwon saying, like, it's taken me years to perfect my craft. Like, you have to learn what you're doing. And he says, what craft? It's sex. You put bodies together and shit happens. It's like the Nature Channel. That really got me. I don't know why. Like, you poor guy. I'm so sorry. It's so not. I mean, it can be. That would be dreadful. So I just, it's so funny. Oh, 5 stars after not being sure at first. Okay. I'm going to need more of your thoughts on that because what happened? I have rubbed off on her. Yeah, on Adrienne. You definitely have. Hello, Joe. Thanks for joining. Not sure if I like two more or was just more invested in the family members. That's also very fair because there was a lot more going on outside of the relationship.
Mm.
So it's probably why we disliked it a little bit and why other people loved it. All my reasons are on there. I'm going to need to see this video. Am I being blind? Can you message me if I'm being blind, please? Because I'm looking and I can't see it. 4 stars from Joe. I think everybody feels pretty much the same on here, apart from some outliers. That first time was so awkward. Yeah. I mean, is it not supposed to be, Marlene?
I think it's made worse the fact that they're adults.
Yes.
That you're kind of a bit like, okay. And I think you felt really like, oh, skin crawling moment, kind of like, oh.
Why do you not know that's not what you should do? You really know this.
Well, but there's nothing wrong with waiting. There's really nothing wrong, but I think
that's not what we're saying.
So used to kind of like reading adult books, it kind of happening. Whereas with like the young adults, you kind of you're in that awkward.
It's going to happen. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Which I think actually I won't because it's a completely different book, but another book I was reading, which is branded as new adult, and the characters are 17, 18, and they're going like full. I don't even know what words. I know we've literally just keep saying the word sex, but that's fine. I don't know how in detail to go. But they go full, definitely not vanilla straight away. And I'm like, this feels worse. I can't cope with that. This feels wrong. I'd rather have the adult awkward virginity moment.
Maybe that's going to be the new like trend.
Maybe. You never know.
I don't think I'll be reading that yet, but it might be. You never know.
You never know. Oh, hi, Lauren. Thanks for joining. Yeah, when he went to Kwon for advice, it was really good. It's like that song, Do It Like We Do on the Discovery Channel.
Is it Bloodhound Gang?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was going to start singing it then, but no one needs that. But I do know what song you mean. I just can't think of who that's by. You're the song person. You should know. Think after the first book, I was expecting more. If it had been the first book, I may have given it 5 stars, but after Kiss Quotient just didn't quite match. Yeah, I think it matched on the things that probably matter about it, like the autism rep and the whole cultural backgrounds. They matched, but the smut didn't. So I see why there's like I don't know. My reasons for liking book 2 more and your guys' reasons for liking it. Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. I knew what you meant. I read that in my brain as what you meant there. the mom bringing her over felt wrong, and the fact it focused on someone with autism again just made me icky, and like it was going to be the same as the first book. Oh, is why you didn't like it at the start. Sorry, I'm with you. I forgot that's what you said. But so after that made you unsure.
I think that's why we had the switch of going from a female to a male to kind of a different perspective.
Yeah.
But no, I kind of, with the mum, it was really like, it's like mail order brides, when there was kind of all like the Thai bride phase years ago. I remember being like 18 working in a pub, and it was the Thai brides, and a man literally went over to Thailand and brought someone back, and everyone was a bit like, where's she come from? And it kind of felt like that. It's like, I'm getting married to her in 3 weeks' time, and everyone was like, okay.
Okay,
you do you.
That's fine. Is she okay? Yeah, she's fine. Okay, good. But yeah, it was very, I think it made me feel awkward, but then I also kind of appreciated the cultural thing of it, where you're mixing like traditional Vietnamese with modern American. Like, it's completely different. So yes, shipping in a bride from Vietnam is a little bit weird, but also it's a perfectly acceptable situation in Vietnam. So it's different. I was actually like comparing her living arrangement at the start, and she was saying that, she didn't have a bed and everyone was kind of in the same room. And like, I found all that fascinating, because I read a lot of like concentrated in England or America, like Western culture. So I don't know. I like that side. Yes, the author has autism herself. She does. I do like the focus on it, and that is the point, in quotation marks. And I think it's done fantastically, as far as I'm personally aware. But it does make it awkward at a lot of times. This is a good point. Not really sure we needed the Esme finds her father part. Yeah, I don't think we needed that part. What do you think, Laura?
It kind of felt a bit like you kind of knew it was going to happen. It was the happy ever after moment that kind of, for the mum, and it was kind of like, all this goes on, and it just felt kind of like, I need an idea at the end of the book just to keep them hooked.
Yeah, just will this happen?
Yeah.
I think I liked it in the end because it meant that they didn't have to get married. So it's like, it doesn't all end with a nice fluffy wedding. It's actually, no, she's going to concentrate on getting her like college degree and then doing her own kind of thing. So I liked it, but I think that's probably the only way she could have done it and made the visa stuff make sense. Like, oh yeah, we didn't get married, but I can still stay here because my dad's American, kind of thing. So I liked it for the... Oh, say again, sorry.
A little bit like shoehorned in, like, we need to tie this up, but I don't want a wedding, so this will kind of be my...
Yeah, this is a way to get out of it, kind of thing. Liked it in the end, just wasn't sure at first. Yeah. A good point. It would have been mostly the same story without... Yeah. I guess it's kind of different, though, because we've, instead of having, like, the leading female character is looking for a partner, in this one, the leading male character is not looking for a partner at all, actively doesn't want one, and his mom takes it into her hands. So I kind of, they would have been very, just dropped my phone, sorry. They would have been very similar stories without that, but like, I still think it's different enough. So we get to see soon how different the Heart Principle is, which I am very, very excited, because most of my notes are about how much I love Quan. So hopefully everyone else is excited to see Quan. And just the first of him saying, I know it's like jumping straight to the end, but the whole, I want you to stay here. He needs to work out he's being an idiot. So I will risk marrying you for him to see sense. That is like, I wouldn't do that for my sister. No chance. No chance. Like, that's far too nice. Well, nice, maybe. Silly, maybe. But yeah, not for me.
So you've got to get your visa, whatever it's called. I can't remember now, even though I'm obsessed with the 90-day fiance, your 90-day visa thing. You need to get that sorted. And then we can live out your life.
Yeah, oh God, no. Everyone's just following my version of the bride test with no Vietnamese parents involved, but the same deal.
Well, 90 Day Fiancé UK are looking for new couples. Just saying.
Cole will not do it. I have so tried. We've tried. His parents have tried. He won't do it. They want to be on TV as much as I do. But anyway. Yeah, looking forward to Kwon. Found Esme's actions so rude. Do you know what I did? But I don't know whether that was her kind of trying to make herself useful. It's a hard one.
What I kind of know about Vietnamese culture, that's kind of the women's role. That's kind of they will look after. So I think that was her kind of, this is what I know to do. So
yeah. And that's like making I forgot, was it like a fish soup or something in the morning? And just trying to be useful when he's like, I don't want you here. Please stop touching my things. Stop making my house smell weird and stop touching my garden and my sock drawer. Like, what are you doing? But I don't know. Maybe rude. Rude is a strong word to say 100% rude, but I would, if someone came into my house and did that, I'd like leave. So.
But I suppose you also got the language barrier. So this is her way of showing she cares and she wants to kind of
provide and support, I guess. I just thought she was trying to be useful, and clearly he needed help as he wasn't doing any of it. Yeah. Useful without being asked to be useful, and where that crosses the line of rude, maybe. Had a roommate in my dorm who made those fish soups for breakfast. Took some getting used to the smell. Oh no. I couldn't in the morning. Could not. She was trying to show she would be a good wife, and she knew she didn't have long to prove it. Yeah, okay. I'll retract most of my statement. That does make sense. The one quote that I have literally written down because I found it so funny. So I loved the kiss quotient because of how funny it was. Oh, I've just realised my laptop's dying. That's not a good time, is it? I love the kiss quotient because of how funny it was. So then I was still tabbing things I felt funny, but this one was less funny. And the one thing that got me was Kai explaining that he doesn't like going to weddings. Don't know if you remember this. But he was talking about what to wear. And he says, black was perfectly acceptable at weddings, and those were happy events. For other people anyway. He'd rather have a prostate exam. Physicians only tortured you for a few seconds, whereas weddings went on for hours and hours. And for some reason, Kai preferring a prostate exam to a wedding really tickled me. Cannot say, I think I'd quite like a wedding. We don't need to have any doctors' invasive exams, please. But I don't know. That tickled me. But I don't think overall it wasn't. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I suppose the doctors only ask a handful of questions, whereas at a wedding, first person, be with anyone yet? Next person, same question. So and it's over how long it lasts, but it's over within minutes as opposed to the hours that you have to stay at a wedding for.
That you have to just deal with being questioned and explaining yourself. Yeah, still, I don't know. I found that absolutely hilarious. But overall, it was less funny than the kiss quotient, which is it was still funny, but just not quite as funny, which it bothered me. But then we did have all the emotional side of his grief with Andy dying, and him genuinely thinking that if he loved anyone, they would die, which is very scary. So that kind of, I was looking through all of my things that I tabbed to talk about, but 99% of it was him being like, I'm not worthy of love. I can't love because if I love you, you'll die, kind of thing, which was a little bit emotional. So that's very hard to explain to somebody.
Yeah. The references at the beginning, like your heart's made of stone, all this, like you couldn't love. Then the bit I liked on 127, I was looking at a top and there was a quote on it. And it was like, girl loves.
Oh, yeah.
127. Girl loves, boy loves girl. And it was this idea of the circle of love and how you never complete it. And I get that she had to keep going back to that, but it was kind of every time something happened, that idea of, he's never going to be with her. And it's kind of like, but we know he will be by the end of the book.
Yeah, we know he
That's
will be because that's why this book's been written. But yeah, it is, every time they mention that, it's like a little kick to your heart of thinking, but you can. You just don't think you can right now.
Yeah.
Which she should have never taken the motorcycle without asking, though. I do agree with this. She didn't know that she shouldn't have. But also, like, I wouldn't go and just take Cole's motorcycle and go for a ride. We've been together 3.5 years, and I wouldn't just do that without asking. So that was a weird one, that she would just do that without thinking. But again, she was trying to be helpful, because didn't she go shopping or something?
I can't remember, but
shopping.
motorcycles in Vietnam and like most of those kind of countries, it's a big, that's how they get around. So she probably wouldn't have thought.
I wouldn't have thought anything, I guess just taking any mode of transport without asking was like, but yeah, I guess I didn't think of it like that. Have you been to Vietnam? I can't remember, because you've been everywhere.
No, I've done Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
Not Vietnam. Yeah. Vietnam was meant to be on the list, but we didn't get there.
Oh, that's annoying. But no, I know you've done like a few kind of similar-ish countries. So yeah, you've seen in real life. I know we covered this much. Yeah. Loved how Con was willing to marry Esme to get Kai to realise he does actually love Esme. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do that for a sibling. No chance. And I don't know, maybe that's just because that one grosses me out, because then I have to think of like my sister's boyfriend. But I also just am not that brave of a person. Be like, yeah, that's fine, I'll marry you. All good. No.
It would be more the fear that you would end up married to him rather than like,
Yeah. Like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, I am actually now married to you. Fantastic. Don't fancy that. Love the explanation of grief and why he finds it so hard to admit his feelings. Yeah, I think it was kind of clear, if you've read any book ever, that he was feeling guilty for this death right from the start. But when he actually comes to the realization himself and it's like, oh, he's caught up with how he's feeling, then that was quite something. And like when he was at the weddings and stuff and he's saying something's missing, but I don't know what, and it was Andy, and that's just like really upsetting. Got all of the alerts going off now. That was like real panicked look.
Who's messaging me now?
Yeah, who needs something now? This is rude. But yeah, just the whole, like, we knew reading it that something had gone on involving him for Andy's death, and he was missing him, feeling guilt, and his whole, I can't love. Well, you clearly loved Andy, so you definitely can.
I think I found it a slower pace as well than the Kiss Quotient.
Yeah.
Even though we knew it was a limited time, it felt a long time.
Yeah, because I guess I've completely forgotten her name now. Michael and it's gone. Stella, that's it. Stella Lane, I remember now. But at least we knew then they had a limited time because they had a set number of dates. So this one's like still limited, but she ends up doing her own things with her life at the same time, like going to college, and which I loved, but it made it feel like really weirdly timed. There seemed to be no stress of how quickly she had to get this done and seal the deal. Whereas I'm kind of panicking of 90 days. I'm like, that is a long time to plan everything. A short time to plan everything, not a long time. Completely the wrong way. Yeah, 90 days is not a lot of time at all. And I know they didn't expressly state this is a 90-day fiance situation, but it was as accurate as you can get to that without getting really boring about US immigration laws. So that's what I'm taking it as. Yeah, I did too, actually. Expected them to show up a lot. Was there just the one wedding? And that was kind of it? It was more Quan than Michael. But I mean, I'm not complaining because I really like Quan. But yeah, maybe the author had already decided on book 2, or she'd not decided on that yet and wasn't going to feature him more. I don't know.
Are they all a year apart?
I think so. Got to be about that.
So that's 2019. This is 21. 18. So there's a bit
okay, so maybe didn't. Or maybe, you know, the dreaded panini had an impact, but
she should have got it out quicker.
Yeah, should have. Yeah, and a phone call. Oh, was it just a phone call? Oh, and the so it was the wedding and then the phone call about sex and stuff, right? Oh yeah, because he wanted Michael's advice as well because of how many girlfriends in quotation marks he'd had. So, yeah, it was definitely, I wanted more of them, but I'm also not going to complain about how much Quan we got. And we also got the mom a lot more, which I wasn't her biggest fan from the start, but then I liked seeing more of her rather than, because she was very like traditionally cultural. So I don't know, I thought it was a bit of a different vibe than in this one. But yeah, I realize how fast I'm probably speaking because we're already at 25 minutes and I've run out of comments. So I just want to see if I've got anything else written down. But I also realized after about 10 minutes of me rambling on that you are literally an English teacher. So I'm like, oh, everything I said sounds dumb.
Don't worry about it. I'm just on the internet, just be sensible.
I'm sure you've got really profound thoughts about everything in this book, and I'm like, yeah, the sex scenes were good, yeah. Like it's.
If you want to whisper on about Jane Eyre and shit like, oh,
that's all good. I did that because you did, but I don't care what you say on here. I read Den of Vipers out loud. You can swear.
Yeah, right. Waffle on about other things like Dickens and Jane Eyre and stuff. I can talk for hours, but it's one of those that you like.
Yeah.
I think we've said what we need to say about it, and I think
I just don't know if I'm
a bit of like a bland filling of a sandwich. This one,
good, which I think
you kind of want a little bit more.
Yeah, I think because what happened? So there was the wedding, and then it went to her graduating college, didn't it? That was pretty much it. Whereas I think I want, if you shuffle everything forward slightly and get a little bit to them as like living together. I think maybe her leaving when he was a bit of a dick to her, and then she leaves. There was like weeks of time that she was just by herself and in the restaurant and going to school and living. That we're like, well, we're not getting the romance. So maybe it's more that this one, although it has the really steamy, spicy bit, it is more of a discovering yourself kind of contemporary side of it rather than sexy side of it. I don't know. There were some lovely scenes between Esme and Kai, especially like the haircut scene. Yes, I did like the haircut scene. That was very, very cute. Which, I mean, I guess she did just have the skill to give him a decent haircut. Oh, and it was all about how much pressure she used and stuff, wasn't it? I do remember that. So I did like that, and that he was trusting to let her do it. I hate having my haircut, so definitely felt for the poor guy. It's not my idea of fun. Not sure how many of you read book 3, but I loved Quan. I have not started it yet. I'm hopefully going to start it next week. Don't know. I was going to read it today. I was saying to Laura, either before we started this or just as I started the stream. I can't remember if I said it publicly or not. I wanted to start it today, but I didn't want to kind of cover what I was thinking in that book in this live show. I wanted to try and keep them very, very separate. So I haven't read it yet, but I have heard very good things.
We've only got a short amount of time to read it, haven't we? Is it the beginning of the month for the next one?
Yeah, I haven't, just perfectly timed. I haven't definitely confirmed it, but I know it's going to be more difficult for you and Victoria, being September. So I did say let me just look at my calendar, which is now not loading. Fantastic. Perfect timing, computer, to just not cooperate. I did say,
same as me, we're back on like the 4th. So
yeah, it's not a good time. So we can either do the 3rd and do it the day before you go back. Well, I mean, you don't have to be on screen if you don't want to, but if you did want to be on screen, we could either do it the 3rd or the 10th and wait until you've kind of had a week back at school. But I don't know what is more stressful, to be quite honest. which also that's when our accounts are due to be filed September. So I'm going to be stressed anyway. This channel is not PG-13. It is not. And I do have to keep reminding my auntie and uncle because they let my cousin watch unattended. And she's like 6 or 7. So I do have
videos of yours she can't watch.
Well, that's the thing. She'll just click on my name. And because a certain video is my most watched ever video, it's not too fun. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. I'm sure I will love it. I'm sure I'll love it. Matthew isn't here. So Matthew is Mel's son, and I keep saying he's too innocent and I can't say things around him. And Mel's like, trust me, you're fine. I think if you get parental permission to just say things that you can't say to kids, it's kind of okay. Just need to warn people that we're talking about romance. Please don't bring your children if you're not comfortable with that. Yeah, I really I want more to say on this, but I don't know what I have to say on it. I really didn't tab it as much as the other one. I should have got the Kiss Quotient out, but that's really nothing compared to what I had on the Kiss Quotient. And there was only one quote I kept because I struggle in romances to find quotes that I love. It's not exactly a quote heavy thing. But I did like, so it's when she's moved out and living by herself, I'm pretty sure. It says, there was a great big world all around and none of it was hers. Where did you go when you had nowhere? And that just made me panic for my life. Like, what? I said this to Cole this morning. You know, I pack up all my stuff, ship it across the world, spend all my money doing that. And then it's like, oh, this isn't going to work out. You need to leave. That would not be too fun. So that's why I liked that quote. A little bit of stress inducing, which you don't always need in a romance. But yeah, do you have anything profound to talk about? No.
I suppose that's kind of joy of when you watch 90 Day Fiance, that you do kind of like, some of them you really don't want them to work out because you just think you're horrible.
Why are you doing this? Yeah, stop.
There's one on the UK one moment and she's just horrible and you just feel like going, why are you giving in to her? You're letting her change you. You're letting you change this. And his daughter is basically saying she's horrible. And I think that's kind of making him want her even more. And you're like, not really.
Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can still say I have never watched an entire episode of 90 Day Fiancé, which is crazy. I just don't think I want to scare myself. You know, it actually works.
For some couples you really like champion, but others you just think you just stay for the TV.
Yeah. Where I would be mostly there for the TV.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, I literally make a slight second earnings from putting myself on people's TVs. So if I could actually do a stint in reality TV, that would be so cool. Don't think my actual job would be too impressed. Be like, first of all, I'm leaving. Second of all, I've got to leave early because I'm making it into reality TV. Not the best idea.
Wonder what your HR policy is on that.
Wow, we don't have a HR person.
No.
So she left. So my HR person is technically the finance director, who is my boss anyway. It's a weird one. We're getting a HR person because as we're growing, you kind of need a HR person. So yeah, it's definitely, my boss has said to me multiple times, you're not allowed to leave me. And I'm like, Slightly stressful. But no, let's get through, see what happens at Christmas first. I'm so glad Cole's not awake and listening to this.
You'll watch later, you'll just be bombarded with messages.
What are you doing? What are you saying to people on the internet? Right, well, the comments have got very quiet. So let me know, guys, if you have anything else to say on this book or the Heart Principle. Anyone read it yet and have anything exciting to share? Because as it's me, I have managed to speak for 34 minutes without realizing. So,
or has anyone got any other recommendations for romances or different series?
Because that's the thing actually. So I started this read along because of Victoria's sister along. So does anyone have, not that I'm saying, oh, I'll do another, because it's a weird level of stress that is hard to explain, because really you're just sat here reading the book and talking about it. But does anyone have any other series that you would kind of compare and class as the same? I know that people are asking me to read the Alcy Silver series that starts with Flawless.
Oh, I've got the first 2 of those because they were in the works.
Yeah, I've just ordered 3 off the works because they were 3 for £6. So I am probably going to read that one, but I don't think I don't think it's got as much hype, really. I don't think it's as well known, but it might become that well known with TikTok. You never know. Looking forward to the Heart Principle. Me too. Yeah, not much to say. Curious to see Quan's bit, see where it focuses on. Yeah, I'm going in completely blind. I just know Quan. That's it. So I think it is going to be quite cool to see what sort of romance he gets himself into. Because wasn't in this one, he had like a woman back at his house or flat or whatever. I can't remember what sort of situation it was. But there was definitely a woman waiting for him in bed when Kai went round there. I'm sure there was.
And he was just so cool about it.
Yeah, just so chill. So I don't know whether it's going to take him from being really chilled out and not caring into something more serious. Going in blind.
This is the better cover, though, of the 3.
Yes.
Isn't it? This is the better cover. This is the one you'd kind of go, oh, okay.
Yeah. I think the kiss quotient is definitely the worst one because it does not sound like it's going to be too romantic. Like, just from looking at it, you're like, do I really want to read something with the word quotient?
It kind of gives you, the Ali Hazelwood one.
The Love Hypothesis.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that kind of vibes with little quotations, equations and stuff.
Yeah. And then I guess that happily puts the bride test smack in the middle of what we think about the cover.
So maybe this might kind of go on like although I do prefer that one to this one.
Do we know? I know that I've said I want to go in blind, but do we know what the autism, if there's more specific autism rep in the 3rd one? Because I don't think I know if there is or not. Or whether, because it would be, I don't know whether it's going to be the same story if, the girl in this one is autistic. But yeah, if my ratings follow the current pattern, book 3 will be a 5-star. Fingers crossed for you, Marlene. I really, really hope it is. I'd love you to have a 5-star romance. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's just, here's some of the original characters and here's the autism rep. I don't know. I don't know if anyone who's read it can tell us without spoiling too much.
In the author's note, there's a bit of like a content warning kind of thing.
Okay. I should look. Mine's over the room and you'll see me wandering about in my joggers if I go that way. It was a 5-star for me along with the kiss quotient. Oh, nice, Joe. Nice.
Okay.
So maybe. I think I am going to lower my rating to a 4 for this. I feel like it hasn't. I thought the 0.5 is just clinging on to the 5-star feels, but it probably is a 4 after everything we've said.
See, I really like Victoria's, why she gave it a 5 now.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I've missed her latest month video. So I haven't missed it. I will watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. So I do need to know exactly
the romance between them.
I'm definitely intrigued. I need to know why people love it, and I need to find this video with a 1-star like rant review. I absolutely need to see that, which I will let people know if I find it.
You just wanted more smart.
Yeah. Pretty well. I mean, it's a fair judgment. There's like 2 scenes in this that get you a little bit warm under the, a bit heated. But right, I will stop waffling because we all know I could continue waffling for a very long time. Thank you so much for joining me on screen, Laura.
I know. Thank you for having me.
I know that you were a little bit like unsure after the first go, so it really means a lot that you're here.
Well, I've managed to swear, so I've come back. Maybe next time I'll confess to something. You never know.
We'll have to get you on very soon. But yeah, thank you.
You gin and God knows what you'll hear.
Yeah. Just like send all the alcohol around. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. It does mean a lot to me. If anyone is interested, I will be doing reading sprints at 6 because I wasn't going to today and then felt like doing it. So when this live show ends, it will redirect you to the reading sprints. Obviously, they're not for another hour and 15, but if you are interested and you want to get it ready, that will do that, because I figured out how to do that on YouTube and it feels like a success. So that's what will happen. But yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone in the comments. It's been really fun to chat and I've enjoyed it. And I've forgotten how to end a live show. I'm like, what do I say at the end of this when someone else is here? But no, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Laura. And we will see you guys in around 3 to 4 weeks for the Heart Principle. So bye, everyone. Now we do the awkward wave. Oh, hang on. I've clicked the wrong button.